Never again awkward silence. Master small talk without the heart racing. Introduction. Welcome to the club of small talk haters. Welcome. If you are holding this book in your hand, then you are probably at a point in your life where you find it difficult to approach other people. Maybe you feel your heart rate increase just thinking about starting a conversation with a stranger. Or you have experienced countless situations in which you felt so uncomfortable in the middle of a conversation that you just wanted to leave. Don't worry, you are not alone. You are in the small talk haters club. And that is not as bad as it sounds. Many people, more than you might think, struggle with the fear of not being able to hold their own in social situations on a daily basis. Whether it's a first date, a job interview, or just casual conversation at a party. For some, this type of interaction is sheer terror. It's like having to overcome an endless obstacle course just to get through a few minutes of small talk. But why is that? Why do some people find it so hard to stay relaxed and at ease in social situations, while others seem to hop from one conversation to the next with no effort? The answer to these questions is complex and has a lot to do with your personality, your life experiences, and the way your brain reacts to stress. The good news is that social phobia, or the fear of small talk, is not set in stone. It is something you can overcome with the right approach and the right tools. This book aims to give you exactly these tools. It's not about you suddenly becoming a small talk pro who can effortlessly master every conversation. It's more about you understanding yourself better, accepting your fears, and gradually regaining control over these situations. It's okay if you feel uncomfortable in social situations. Many people do. But it's also okay if you decide that you want to change something about it. You may be thinking that it's easier said than done. That may be true. But as with many things in life, the first step is the hardest. By opening this book, you have already taken that step. You have decided to change something about your situation, and that is a hugely important step in the right direction. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's find out together how you can get your fears under control and maybe even find joy in small talk someday. This book will take you on a journey where you will not only learn to understand your fears, but also how to deal with them. You will learn techniques and exercises that will help you overcome your social phobia step by step. You will understand why you react the way you do in certain situations, and you will develop strategies to react differently in the future. And who knows? Maybe at the end of this journey you will find that small talk is not so bad after all. Maybe you will even enjoy it. So let's go down this path together. You are not alone, and you don't have to go down this path alone. In the next chapters, you will learn a lot about yourself and find out how you can help yourself. Welcome to the club of small talk haters, but even more, welcome to the path to leaving this club one day and becoming a confident small talk champion. Why this book will help you. You may be wondering why this book should help you overcome your social anxiety. In a world where there are seemingly endless self-help and advice books, what makes this book so special? The answer is simple. This book is written specifically for people like you. People who feel uncomfortable in social situations, who may have already made some attempts to overcome their fears but haven't found the right approach yet. The basic idea of this book is that every person is unique, and so are their fears. There is no panacea, no one-size-fits-all solution for social phobia. What works for one person may be completely useless for another. That's why this book aims to introduce you to a variety of techniques and exercises from which you can choose the ones that work best for you. You are the expert on yourself, and this book gives you the tools you need to find your own solutions. Another thing that makes this book special is its practical relevance. Many guides focus on theory and get lost in long explanations about why we are the way we are. Of course, it is important to understand the background, but this book goes a step further. It shows you how you can apply this knowledge in your everyday life. Every technique, every exercise presented here is designed to help you immediately. You don't have to plow through hundreds of pages of theory before you can put something into practice. After just the first few chapters, you will have concrete tools at your fingertips that you can try out straight away. In addition, this book is not just a guide, but also a companion. It takes you by the hand and guides you through the process of change. It challenges you, but it also encourages you. It shows you that it is okay to make mistakes and experience setbacks. That is part of the learning process. The important thing is that you stick with it and do not let yourself get discouraged. This book is not a magic wand that will solve all your problems overnight, but it is a reliable companion that shows you how to move forward step by step. Another key advantage of this book is the focus on self-help. While professional help can be essential for severe social phobias, this book is aimed at those who may not yet be ready to take this step or who are looking for independent solutions in addition to therapy. It shows you how you can take action yourself without having to go into therapy straight away. You will learn how to help yourself by questioning and changing your thoughts, feelings and behaviors. And finally, this book is realistic. It doesn't promise you miracles, but it shows you that change is possible. It addresses the everyday challenges you face and offers you practical, actionable advice. The exercises and techniques are based on proven psychological methods developed and tested by experts. They are effective and designed to help you in the long term. In summary, this book will help you because it is tailored to you. It offers you a variety of strategies from which you can choose the ones that suit you. It accompanies you on your journey, gives you concrete tools and motivates you to stick with it. It is realistic and practical so that you can get started right away. If you are ready to accept the challenge and set out on the path to a more self-confident life, then this book will be a valuable companion on this path. Chapter 1. What is social phobia? Social phobia, also known as social anxiety disorder, is one of the most common anxiety disorders in the world. It is characterized by an intense fear of social situations in which the affected person may be observed, judged, or critically evaluated by other people. For people suffering from social phobia, everyday interactions that most people take for granted, such as a simple conversation with a co-worker, are a source of intense discomfort and stress. Fear of other people is the central feature of social phobia. This fear goes far beyond what many people perceive as normal nervousness in social situations. It is a deep, often seemingly irrational fear that affects and limits the lives of those affected in many ways. Symptoms and manifestations. People with social phobia often experience a variety of physical symptoms when they are in social situations or even just thinking about them. These symptoms can range from shaking, sweating, and racing heartbeat to nausea and dizziness. In extreme cases, the fear can be so overwhelming that it triggers panic attacks. In addition to physical symptoms, sufferers also experience intense psychological symptoms. These often include constantly worrying about how they are perceived by others, fear of negative evaluation, and the feeling that every social interaction will end in a mistake or embarrassment. This fear causes many people with social phobia to feel extremely uncomfortable in social situations and often try to avoid such situations altogether. Avoiding social interactions is one of the main characteristics of social phobia. Sufferers may avoid public appearances, parties, meeting friends, or even everyday activities such as shopping or making phone calls. This avoidance can lead to social isolation, which further worsens the problem. The lack of social contact and the constant feeling of fear can lead to a vicious cycle in which the phobia becomes increasingly stronger. Causes of social phobia. The exact causes of social phobia are complex and can vary from person to person. Both genetic and environmental factors are thought to play a role. People with a family history of anxiety disorders may be more prone to developing social phobia. In addition, negative experiences in childhood, such as bullying, social exclusion, or strict parenting methods, may contribute to the development of this anxiety disorder. Another crucial factor is the way the brain responds to stress and social situations. Studies have shown that in people with social phobia, certain areas of the brain are overactive, particularly the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions such as fear. Overactivity in this area can cause the affected person to have an excessive fear response in social situations. The vicious circle of social phobia. Another characteristic feature of social phobia is the vicious circle that sufferers often find themselves in. The fear of social situations leads to them being avoided. This avoidance in turn increases the fear, as the affected person has no opportunity to gain positive social experiences or to learn that the feared situations are often harmless. The more situations are avoided, the stronger the belief that social interactions are dangerous and threatening becomes. In addition, social phobia can severely affect the self-esteem of those affected. Many people with social phobia believe that they are less valuable or competent than others. These negative beliefs about themselves can make them feel even more insecure in social situations, further increasing anxiety. The impact on life. The impact of social phobia on daily life can be profound. It can severely impact professional life, with sufferers finding it difficult to speak in meetings, give presentations, or even have simple conversations with colleagues. This can lead to them missing out on professional opportunities or not progressing as far in their career as they could. Personal life often suffers from social phobia. 2. Relationships can suffer, as sufferers have difficulty making new friends, maintaining relationships, or feeling comfortable in social groups. The fear can also affect romantic relationships, as it makes it difficult for sufferers to approach someone they find interesting or to be open about their feelings in an existing relationship. Social phobia can also lead to general isolation, as sufferers often feel that they are different from others and do not fit into social groups. This isolation can increase feelings of loneliness and increase the risk of other mental health problems, such as depression. The way to overcome. Overcoming social phobia is a process that takes time, patience, and practice. However, there are proven methods that can help reduce anxiety and increase confidence in social situations. These include cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness techniques, and targeted exposure. where sufferers gradually expose themselves to feared situations to reduce their anxiety. It's important to stress that social phobia is a serious but treatable disorder. With the right support and techniques, sufferers can learn to overcome their fears and live fulfilling, socially active lives. This book will help you start that journey by giving you the tools you need to understand and manage your fears. Fear of other people, symptoms and effects in everyday life. Social phobia, or fear of other people, manifests itself in a variety of symptoms that can be both physical and psychological. These symptoms occur primarily in situations in which the affected person feels that they are being observed or judged by other people. This fear can significantly affect everyday life, including both professional and private aspects. Physical symptoms. One of the most common and visible manifestations of social phobia are the physical symptoms that occur in stressful situations. These can be so intense that they seem almost unbearable for those affected. The most common physical symptoms include heart palpitations. The heart begins to beat quickly and violently, as if you were in a dangerous situation. This feeling of heart palpitations can be so strong that it makes thinking difficult and increases anxiety. Sweating. Many people with social phobia report excessive sweating, especially in the palms of their hands or under their arms. These sweating episodes can be uncomfortable and embarrassing, making those affected even more unsettled. Tremors, especially in the hands, are another common symptom. These tremors can be so severe that they are visible to others, which increases the sufferer's fear of negative judgment. Gastrointestinal problems, nausea, stomach cramps and the feeling of needing to go to the bathroom urgently are also common symptoms. These physical reactions can make sufferers feel even more uncomfortable and avoid social situations even more. Shortness of breath. In stressful moments, you may feel like you are not getting enough air. This can lead to shallow breathing, which in turn increases the feeling of panic. Psychological symptoms. In addition to physical reactions, people with social phobia also suffer from intense psychological symptoms that dominate their thoughts. These symptoms are often more severe as they severely affect self-esteem and the ability to feel safe in social situations. Fear of negative judgment. A central feature of social phobia is the deep-rooted fear of being negatively judged or criticized by other people. Those affected fear that they will embarrass themselves, be ridiculed or be rejected by others. Self-doubt. People with social phobia tend to be extremely critical of themselves. They often believe that they are incapable of successfully managing social interactions and that other people think they are incompetent or strange. Thought carousel. Before, during and after social interactions, thoughts often revolve incessantly around one's own behavior. Those affected analyze every little thing and consider whether they behaved correctly or whether they made a bad impression. Avoidance. To escape the unpleasant feelings and fears, people with social phobia tend to avoid social situations. This may lead to turning down invitations, distancing themselves from friends and family, or passing up on professional opportunities. Panic attacks. In particularly stressful situations, social phobia can lead to a panic attack. This is characterized by intense fear that is so overwhelming that the affected person feels like they are losing control or fainting. Effects in everyday life. The symptoms of social phobia can have a massive impact on daily life and significantly impair the quality of life. This is evident in various areas. Professional challenges. In the workplace, people with social phobia may have difficulty contributing in meetings, giving presentations, or interacting with coworkers. This can limit their career opportunities as they may avoid promotions or new roles that require more interaction. Social isolation. By constantly avoiding social situations, those affected can become socially isolated. They withdraw further and further, which leads to them having fewer friends and often feeling lonely. Impaired relationships. Fear of negative judgment can also put a strain on personal relationships. Those affected often have difficulty forming close relationships because they fear being rejected by others. This can lead to conflict and misunderstandings. Reduced enjoyment of life. Since many leisure activities require social interactions, people with social phobia often avoid activities that they might actually enjoy. This leads to a decrease in enjoyment of life and a feeling of emptiness. Low self-esteem. The constant fear and negative thoughts that accompany social phobia can severely affect self-esteem. Sufferers often see themselves as less valuable or competent than others, leading to a vicious cycle of fear and self-doubt. Why you are not alone. It's important to understand that you are not alone in your fear. Social phobia is a common disorder that affects millions of people around the world. It may often seem like you are the only person in the world who suffers from this intense fear, but the reality is different. Many people who you may perceive as confident or sociable may experience similar fears to you. Social phobia is not always obvious. Many sufferers have learned to hide their fears and appear calm and composed on the outside, while a storm is raging inside. The fact that social phobia is so widespread is also reflected in the numerous support groups, forums and organizations that deal with this issue. Awareness of social phobia is constantly growing and more people are speaking openly about their experiences, which encourages others to seek help as well. You are not alone, and there are many ways you can find support. Whether it's through talking to other people who are affected, getting professional help, or using self-help techniques, there are many ways you can learn to manage your anxiety and live a more fulfilling life. This book is just the beginning. It will show you that not only are you not alone in your anxiety, but that there are solutions that can help you take control of your life again. Knowing that you are not alone can make a big difference. It can give you the feeling that there is hope and that you can manage to overcome your fears. Together with others who have had similar experiences, you can learn to overcome your social phobia step by step and maybe even be proud of your progress. Chapter 2. Understanding the roots of your fear. Causes and development of social phobias. To effectively overcome social phobia, it is important to understand its roots. The causes of social phobia are complex and varied. They can be rooted in childhood, influenced by genetic factors, or caused by certain life experiences. Social phobia is rarely caused by a single trigger. It is often a combination of different factors that work together to cause fear of social situations. Genetic predisposition. One factor that may contribute to the development of social phobia is genetics. Studies show that anxiety disorders tend to run in families, suggesting that there is a hereditary component. So, if close relatives, such as parents or siblings, suffer from social phobia, this increases the risk of developing such an anxiety disorder themselves. However, this does not mean that genetics necessarily led to social phobia. It simply increases the likelihood of such a disorder occurring when other factors are also present. Early childhood experiences. A person's childhood experiences play a crucial role in the development of social phobia. Children who grow up in an environment where they are frequently criticized or humiliated may develop a deep distrust of social situations. This is especially true when the criticism comes from important people such as parents or teachers. Such children may develop the belief that they are constantly being judged and condemned in social situations, which can lead to social anxiety in later years. Overprotective parenting can also contribute to the development of social phobias. Parents who want to protect their children from any potential danger unconsciously teach them that the world is a dangerous place and that social interactions are potentially threatening. This can lead to the child later in adulthood perceiving social situations as frightening and uncontrollable. Traumatic experiences. Another trigger for social phobia can be traumatic experiences in childhood or adolescence. Such a trauma could, for example, be an embarrassing or humiliating experience in public that leaves a lasting impression. Bullying at school or exclusion by peers can also cause deep-seated fears that later manifest themselves in the form of social phobia. These traumatic experiences can have a serious impact on self-esteem and undermine trust in other people. The affected person may develop the belief that they are not good enough and that others will always judge them negatively. These beliefs can become deeply ingrained in the subconscious and form the basis of social phobia. Learning theories and conditioning. Learning theories suggest that social phobia can also arise from conditioning. When a person has a negative experience in a social situation, they may associate that situation with fear and discomfort. Each time they find themselves in a similar situation, the fear response is reinforced. This pattern can become so entrenched that the mere idea of a social interaction is enough to trigger fear. An example of this could be someone being laughed at during a presentation at school. This negative experience could lead the person to avoid any situation in the future where they have to speak in front of others for fear of being laughed at again. Over time, a strong fear develops of all social situations in which there is a possibility of being judged by others. Cultural and social influences. Cultural and societal factors can also play a role in the development of social phobias. In cultures that place a high value on achievement, perfection and social recognition, the pressure to succeed in social situations can be significant. People who perceive themselves as not sufficiently competent or socially adept may crumble under this pressure and develop social phobia. Modern society, with its increased use of social media, can also encourage social phobia. The constant presentation of other people's perfect lives on social media can reinforce the feeling that one is not good enough and is constantly being judged. This constant comparability and the pursuit of recognition can increase the fear of social evaluation and thus social phobia. Recognizing negative thought patterns. A central aspect of social phobia is the negative thought patterns that sufferers develop about themselves and their social interactions. These thought patterns are often deeply ingrained and affect how people with social phobia perceive and respond to their environment. They play a key role in maintaining and increasing the fear. Overgeneralization. Overgeneralization is a common pattern of thinking in social phobia. Sufferers tend to see a negative experience as being universal in all similar situations. A single negative experience, for example, feeling like they have failed in a conversation, is seen as proof that they will fail in every social situation. This thinking leads to increased anxiety in future social situations because sufferers are convinced that the negative experience will be repeated. Catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is another common thought pattern. People with social phobia tend to expect the worst. They imagine that every social interaction will end in disaster, whether it's embarrassing themselves, being rejected, or not being able to express themselves appropriately. This thinking causes them to be extremely nervous before social situations and often tend to avoid them altogether. Personalization. Personalization means that those affected take full responsibility for negative events onto themselves, even when there is no objective evidence to support this. For example, if someone seems bored in a conversation, the person with social phobia automatically assumes that they themselves are boring or uninteresting. They believe that they are the reason for the other person's negative reaction, even though this reaction could be caused by completely different factors. Mind reading. Mind reading is another negative thinking pattern in which sufferers assume they know what others think of them. People with social phobia often believe that others are negatively judging or criticizing them, even when there is no evidence of this. This thinking pattern causes them to feel constantly watched and judged, which increases their anxiety and affects behavior in social situations. Black and white thinking. Black and white thinking, also known as all or nothing thinking, is a pattern of thinking where people see the world in extreme categories. For someone with social phobia, this means they perceive social situations as either a total success or a complete failure. There is no room for in-between or nuance. If a social interaction doesn't go perfectly, it is viewed as a complete failure, further undermining self-esteem. Selective perception. Selective perception describes the tendency to focus on negative aspects of a situation and overlook positive or neutral aspects. People with social phobia may only notice the few moments when they stutter or feel uncomfortable and ignore all the moments when the interaction is going well. This selective focus on the negative increases anxiety and feelings of incapacity in social situations. The vicious circle of negative thought patterns. These negative thought patterns can create a vicious cycle that perpetuates social phobia. When a person constantly expects social situations to go badly, they are more likely to act tense and uncomfortable. This behavior can actually lead to unpleasant interactions, which in turn reinforces the negative beliefs. Over time, these thought patterns become more entrenched, making social phobia even more difficult to overcome. Recognizing and changing thought patterns. The first step to overcoming these negative thought patterns is to recognize them in the first place. Many people are not aware that their thoughts are the cause of their anxiety. Mindfulness and self-reflection can help you become aware of these thought patterns. Once you recognize them, you can begin to challenge them and replace them with more realistic, positive beliefs. For example, you can realize that a negative experience in the past does not mean that all future experiences will be the same. Or you can realize that you are not able to read other people's minds and that your own assumptions are often unfounded. The process of recognizing and changing these thought patterns is a crucial step in overcoming social phobia. It requires patience, practice, and often outside support, such as therapeutic approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. But with time and the right approach, it is possible to break the power of these negative thoughts and develop a healthier, more realistic self-image. Questioning thought patterns. Once you have identified a negative thought pattern, it is important to critically question it. Ask yourself, is there evidence that my assumptions are true? Is it really as bad as I imagine? Are there alternative explanations for what I am experiencing? These questions help to loosen the rigidity of the negative thought patterns and make room for new, more positive thoughts. For example, if you tend to think that everyone thinks you're incompetent because you stuttered in a conversation, you might ask yourself, is there any concrete evidence that others really view me that negatively? Or could it be that they haven't noticed it as much as I think they have often? You'll find that your initial assumptions are exaggerated or unfounded. Establishing new thought patterns. After you have challenged the negative thought patterns, the next step is to establish new, healthier thought patterns. This means consciously developing more positive, realistic thoughts and anchoring them in your everyday life. This process requires repetition and practice, but over time these new thought patterns can replace the old, negative ones. One approach might be to focus on the positive aspects of a social interaction. Instead of just noticing the stuttering or the insecurities, you might remind yourself that you continued the conversation despite those moments, that the other person reacted kindly, or that you had the courage to face the situation in the first place. Recognizing these small successes is important to build confidence step by step. Mindfulness and self-compassion. Another technique that can be helpful is mindfulness. Mindfulness means living in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judging them. Instead of letting negative thoughts get to you, you learn to notice them and let them go. Mindfulness can help you distance yourself from your negative thought patterns and see them for what they are. Thoughts that come and go, and that do not reflect the absolute truth about you or the world. Self-compassion is also an important part of this process. Oftentimes, negative thought patterns are accompanied by harsh, self-critical inner dialogue. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would give a good friend. When you make a mistake or feel uncomfortable in a social situation, remind yourself that no one is perfect and that it's okay to make mistakes. This attitude can help you accept yourself and ease your fears. Support and therapy. Sometimes it is difficult to overcome negative thought patterns on your own, especially if they are deeply rooted. In such cases, it can be helpful to seek support through therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is one of the most effective methods for treating social phobia. In CBT, you work with a therapist to identify and challenge your negative thought patterns and replace them with more positive ones. The therapist can also help you develop practical strategies to deal with social anxiety and gradually overcome it. Group therapy or self-help groups can also provide valuable support. In a group of people who have similar experiences, you can exchange ideas, gain courage and gain new perspectives. It is often relieving to know that you are not alone and that other people are overcoming similar challenges. Patience and perseverance. It's important to realize that changing thought patterns is a process that takes time. Negative thought patterns have developed over years and are deeply ingrained in your thinking. It's normal that it takes time and practice to change them. There will be setbacks, and that's okay. The key is to be patient with yourself and stick with it. Every small step you take is progress. Every time you challenge a negative thought pattern, replace it with a more positive one, or face a social situation despite your fear, you are on the right track. These steps may seem small, but they add up over time and can lead to significant changes in your life. Conclusion. Understanding the roots of social phobia and recognizing the negative thought patterns that perpetuate it are essential steps toward overcoming the fear. By learning to challenge your thought patterns and develop more positive beliefs, you can begin to reduce your fear of social situations and live a more confident, fulfilling life. This chapter has shown you how important it is to understand the causes and mental processes behind your fear. With this knowledge, you are better equipped to take the necessary steps to overcome social phobia. In the coming chapters, you will learn how to implement these insights in your everyday life to overcome your fear step by step. The influence of experience and education. The way we are raised and the experiences we have during our childhood have a profound influence on the development of our personality, our self-esteem and our ability to deal with social situations. These early experiences play a crucial role in the development of social phobias in particular. In this section we will look at how upbringing and personal experiences can contribute to the development of social phobia. Overprotective parenting. Overprotective parenting, also known as helicopter parenting, can result in a child not being given the opportunity to develop their own social skills and deal with challenges on their own. When parents are overprotective and shield their children from every potential danger or failure, it can inadvertently send the message that the world is a dangerous place and that the child is unable to handle social situations on their own. Children who grow up overprotected often have fewer opportunities to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. They may develop the belief that they need to be extra cautious in social situations to avoid attracting negative attention or getting hurt. This can lead to an excessive fear of social interactions, as they perceive them as potentially dangerous or unpleasant. In addition, overprotective parenting can cause the child to have difficulty developing self-confidence. When parents constantly intervene to solve problems or avoid conflict, the child does not learn how to handle these challenges on their own. This can lead to low self-esteem and increased anxiety in social situations where the child believes they cannot cope without parental support. Critical or derogatory education. Likewise, a critical or derogatory upbringing can have a significant impact on the development of social phobia. Children who regularly receive criticism or derogatory comments from their parents or other caregivers often develop a negative self-image. If a child is constantly told that they are not good enough, do not meet expectations, or that their mistakes are serious, this can lead to a deep feeling of inadequacy. Such a child may begin to view social situations as a threat, fearing that they will again be criticized or devalued. This fear of negative evaluation may cause the child to avoid social interactions or be extremely tense and insecure in these situations. As a result, a pattern of social anxiety develops that may persist into adulthood. In addition, a parenting that focuses on perfectionism can also contribute to social phobia. When parents have overly high expectations of their child and demand perfection, the child may develop an excessive fear of making mistakes or not being perfect. This fear may be particularly pronounced in social situations, as the child fears that his imperfections will be noticed and judged by others. Lack of emotional support. Another factor that can contribute to the development of social phobia is a lack of emotional support in childhood. Children who grow up in an emotionally neglectful environment where their feelings and needs are not adequately addressed often develop the feeling that they are left alone and that their emotions do not matter. This emotional neglect can lead to the child having difficulty building trust with other people and experiencing social relationships as supportive and safe. Children who do not receive adequate emotional support may feel particularly vulnerable and unsafe in social situations. They may feel that they do not have the ability or right to articulate their own needs or to feel comfortable in social interactions. This may lead them to avoid social situations or withdraw in those situations to protect themselves from potential harm. Traumatic social experiences. Traumatic social experiences in childhood or adolescence can also play a significant role in the development of social phobias. These experiences can take the form of bullying, social exclusion, public humiliation, or other painful events that have a lasting impact on self-image and trust in other people. For example, a child who has been bullied or publicly humiliated at school may approach social situations with fear and distrust in the future. He may develop the belief that he will be repeatedly hurt or rejected in social interactions, leading to avoidance behavior. This avoidance behavior further increases fear because the child cannot gain positive social experiences that could help him overcome his fears. Modeling and social learning. Children also learn by observing the behavior of their parents and other significant others. For example, if a child sees that their parents themselves have social anxiety or experience difficulties in social situations, they may unconsciously adopt that behavior. This phenomenon is called modeling, in which the child imitates the parent's behavior because they see it as normal or appropriate. In addition, parents who are socially anxious may unconsciously pass on behaviors to their children that contribute to the development of social phobias. When parents avoid social situations, are overly anxious, or express their own fears, the child may learn that social interactions are threatening and should be avoided. This may lead to the development of similar avoidance behaviors in the child. Social expectations and role models. Finally, social expectations and role models that are conveyed during upbringing can also have an influence on the development of social phobias. In some cultures or families, certain behaviors or role models are particularly emphasized. If children feel that they cannot fulfill these expectations, this can lead to social phobia. For example, girls might grow up in a culture where they are expected to be particularly shy or reserved. This expectation might make them feel insecure or uncomfortable in social situations as they are constantly trying to live up to these expectations. This can increase the risk of developing social phobias as children feel like they are constantly being evaluated and judged. Conclusion. Childhood experiences and upbringing play a central role in the development of social phobia. Overprotection, criticism, emotional neglect, traumatic experiences, modeling and social expectations can all contribute to a child developing social anxiety. These factors shape self-image and confidence in social interactions, which can lead to an increased risk of developing social phobia. It is important to stress that these experiences do not necessarily lead to social phobia. Each child reacts differently to their environment and experiences. Some children do not develop social anxiety despite difficult circumstances, while others may still develop a phobia in seemingly stable environments. Individual resilience and the support a child receives play a crucial role in how they deal with these experiences. This understanding of the influences of upbringing and experiences is the first step to overcoming social phobia. By recognizing how your fears came about, you can begin to challenge the underlying patterns and develop new, healthier behaviors. In the next chapter, we'll take a closer look at how you can recognize and change these negative patterns to live a life free of social anxiety. Chapter 3. Getting out of the fear trap. First steps. Small steps. Big impact. Courage to take the first step. The first step to overcoming social phobia is often the hardest. Facing your fears and taking action in social situations can be scary, but it's these small, seemingly insignificant steps that can have a big impact and pave the way to overcoming your fear. The concept of taking a step-by-step approach is based on the realization that trying to overcome your fear all at once can be overwhelming. Instead, it's more effective to break the challenge down into smaller, manageable tasks. Why small steps are important. If you suffer from social phobia, the idea of tackling big social challenges right away can be paralyzing. The fear of being overwhelmed or failing can lead you to avoid such situations altogether. However, this avoidance only reinforces your fears and leads to you finding yourself in a vicious cycle in which the social phobia becomes increasingly stronger. Small steps, on the other hand, allow you to slowly expand your comfort zone without overwhelming yourself. Every small success you achieve along the way helps to increase your confidence and reduce fear. This way, you can gradually tackle bigger challenges without feeling like you have to jump in at the deep end. Defining the first step. The first step can look very different depending on where you are and what social situations you are most anxious about. For example, it could be that you decide to say good morning to someone on the street instead of just walking past. Or maybe you decide to sit down with your colleagues during your lunch break at work instead of eating alone at your desk. The key is that the first step should be doable and not too scary. It should be challenging but not completely overwhelming. A small success can be a powerful motivator and give you the courage to take further steps. Focus on success. It's important to focus on the success you've achieved after each small step, rather than what may not have gone perfectly. For example, if you managed to say hello to someone but weren't able to continue the conversation, focus on the fact that you had the courage to make the first contact. These positive experiences are crucial to building your confidence and pushing you further. Celebrate every success, no matter how small it seems. Recognize that each step brings you closer to your goal of overcoming social anxiety. You can also write down these successes to refer to later and remind yourself of your progress. Dealing with setbacks. On the way to overcoming your social phobia, you will also experience setbacks. There may be days when the first step is much more difficult than others. Or you may experience a social situation that makes you more insecure than you expected. These setbacks are normal and part of the process of change. The important thing is not to let setbacks discourage you. They don't mean you've failed or that you're unable to overcome your fear. They are just part of the learning process. Try to learn from these setbacks instead of judging yourself for them. Ask yourself what you could do differently next time and remind yourself that every step you take is a step in the right direction. Taking small steps towards a new routine. An effective way to make progress in overcoming social phobia is to incorporate small steps into your daily routine. Make it a habit to take on small challenges on a daily or weekly basis. The more you practice, the more confident you will become in social situations. For example, you might commit to having a short conversation with one person every day, whether it's your neighbor, the cashier at the grocery store, or a coworker. Over time, this type of interaction will become routine, and the anxiety associated with it will diminish. Set realistic goals. Realistic goals are important because they ensure you make gradual progress without overwhelming yourself. Setting goals that are too big or unrealistic puts you at risk of failure, which can undermine your confidence and increase anxiety. Goals should be set in a way that is challenging but achievable, and makes you feel like you are on the right track. Setting SMART goals. A proven method for setting realistic goals is the SMART method. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attractive, realistic and time-bound. These criteria help you to clearly define your goals and ensure that they are achievable. Specific. A goal should be clear and concrete. Instead of "I want to overcome my social phobia," you could say, "I want to have 3 conversations with strangers in the next 2 weeks." Measurable. It's important that you can measure your progress toward your goal. A measurable goal might be, every day, "I want to try one new social situation that scares me." Attractive. The goal should be motivating for you personally. Think about why you want to achieve this goal and how it will improve your life. Realistic. Your goal should be realistic and achievable. It's unlikely that you'll completely overcome your social phobia in a short period of time, but it's realistic to make small progress that adds up over time. Time-bound. Set a clear time frame in which you want to achieve your goal. This will help you stay motivated and track your progress. Long-term and short-term goals. It's helpful to set both short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are small, achievable steps that move you closer to your long-term goal. For example, a short-term goal might be to start small talk with a stranger in the next week. A long-term goal might be to be able to attend social events without anxiety in a year. The short-term goals serve as milestones on the way to your long-term goal. They help you stay motivated and make you aware that every small success brings you closer to your bigger goal. Adjust goals and remain flexible. It's important to remain flexible and adjust your goals when necessary. Sometimes you may find that a goal was too ambitious or that it can be achieved differently than you originally planned. In such cases, it's okay to adjust your goals to better suit your current needs and abilities. Flexibility also means that you are willing to set new goals once you have achieved old ones. The process of overcoming social phobia is continuous, and it is important to keep taking on new challenges in order to continue to move forward. Another important aspect of goal setting is rewards. Reward yourself for every step you make, no matter how small. These rewards can be something that brings you joy, like a relaxing evening, a favorite meal, or a small purchase you've been wanting for a long time. Rewards help keep you motivated and give you something to look forward to after you've achieved a goal. They remind you that you're making progress and that your efforts are worth it. Conclusion. Overcoming social phobia is a process that begins with small but significant steps. By setting realistic goals and focusing on each small success, you can gradually reduce your fears and live a more confident life. Every step you take is a step out of the fear trap and a step towards a more fulfilling, socially active life. This chapter has shown you the importance of courageously taking the first step and setting realistic goals. Now you can put these principles into practice and start to overcome your social phobia step by step. Gently expand your comfort zone. The comfort zone is the area in which you feel safe and comfortable because you are only confronted with familiar situations and challenges. It offers protection from stress and anxiety. but can also become a prison that prevents you from having new experiences and growing. For people with social phobia, the comfort zone is often very limited because social situations that could trigger anxiety are avoided as much as possible. The aim of this chapter is to show you how to gently and gradually expand your comfort zone so that you can gradually handle more social situations without anxiety. Why it is important to expand your comfort zone. Expanding your comfort zone is crucial to overcoming social phobia. Staying in your comfort zone may help you avoid short-term anxiety, but in the long run, it will prevent you from learning how to better handle social situations. By gradually expanding your comfort zone, you can develop new skills, gain more confidence, and eventually perceive social situations as less threatening. The process of expanding your comfort zone doesn't have to start with big, scary steps. In fact, it's more effective to start with small, manageable steps that allow you to experience success and gradually reduce your fear. This way, you can gradually learn that social interactions aren't as threatening as your phobia makes you believe. The step-by-step approach. Small steps towards big change. The gradual approach to expanding your comfort zone means that you slowly approach new, challenging situations rather than immediately diving into your deepest fears. This process is often called graduated exposure and is a central part of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. It involves gradually engaging with the situations that trigger anxiety, starting with those that are least frightening. Identify your fear hierarchy. The first step in this process is to create a fear hierarchy. This hierarchy is a list of social situations that make you feel anxious, ordered from least scary to most scary. For example, your list might look like this. Say hello to a neighbor in the hallway. Have a short conversation with a colleague. Ask a question during a group meeting. Make a call to place an order. Attending a party where you know very few people. Giving a presentation to a large group. By creating this list, you will get an overview of which situations scare you the most and where you can start expanding your comfort zone. Start with the least daunting tasks. Start with the task that is at the bottom of your fear hierarchy. It's important not to overwhelm yourself at first, but to start with something that is doable and doesn't cause you too much anxiety. For example, you could focus on simply saying hello when you pass a neighbor. While this may seem daunting at first, it's a small but significant step toward expanding your comfort zone. After you have mastered this first challenge, you move on to the next situation in your hierarchy. You will notice that the more often you face these situations, the less fear you have. With each small success, your confidence in your ability to handle social situations grows and your comfort zone expands little by little. Celebrate small successes and recognize progress. It's important to celebrate every small success and acknowledge your progress. The road to overcoming social anxiety is often long and full of challenges, so it's crucial to stay positive and praise yourself for your efforts. For example, you could keep a journal to record your successes or reward yourself with something that brings you joy after a successful step. Recognizing your progress will help you stay motivated and focus on the positives rather than any fears you may still have. There will be moments when you want to retreat back into your comfort zone, but being aware of the successes you've made can give you the strength to keep going. Be patient with yourself. The process of expanding your comfort zone requires patience and self-compassion. It's normal to have setbacks or to feel like you're not making progress at times. These setbacks are part of the process and don't mean you're failing. It's important to be patient with yourself and accept that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. When you encounter resistance or feel particularly anxious, take the time to reflect on what exactly triggered the anxiety and consider how you might approach the challenge differently next time. Sometimes it helps to take a step back and tackle a less daunting task before facing the more difficult situation again. Practical exercises to expand your comfort zone. There are various practical exercises that can help you expand your comfort zone. Here are some examples. Practice eye contact. Start consciously making eye contact when you talk to people, even if it's just for brief moments. This can help you feel more comfortable in social interactions. Small talk in everyday situations. Use everyday opportunities to practice small talk. For example, in the supermarket or during a coffee break. You could start by asking the cashier about his day or make a quick comment about the weather. Visit new places. Visit places you don't normally go, like a new coffee shop or a different park. These small changes in your routine can help expand your comfort zone. Participate in group activities. Participate in group activities that you might enjoy, such as a cooking class or a hiking group. These activities provide a relaxed atmosphere to connect with other people and practice your social skills. Make spontaneous decisions. Try to make spontaneous decisions every now and then that challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, such as calling a friend spontaneously or attending an event without thinking about it for long. Long-term expansion of the comfort zone. Expanding your comfort zone long-term means continually setting new goals and continuing to challenge yourself even after you've overcome initial fears. This might mean gradually taking on bigger social challenges, such as giving presentations or attending larger social events. The more you expand your comfort zone, the more you will find that social situations that used to scare you seem less threatening. This will not only make you feel more confident in social interactions, but will also allow you to live a more fulfilling and active life. Chapter 4. Expert exercises for more self-confidence. Confidence is a crucial factor in overcoming social phobias. When you have more confidence in yourself, you will be less afraid of social situations and be able to feel more confident and comfortable in interactions with others. In this chapter, we will look at 2 powerful exercises to help you increase your confidence: positive thinking training and calm nerve breathing techniques. Exercise 1. The power of thoughts. Training positive thinking. Our thoughts have a huge impact on our feelings and behavior. Negative thought patterns can undermine self-confidence and increase social phobias, while positive thinking can boost self-esteem and reduce anxiety. This exercise aims to teach you how to consciously direct your thoughts in a positive direction. Step 1. Identify negative thoughts. The first step in training positive thinking is to identify negative thought patterns. These can be thoughts like "I'm going to embarrass myself," "nobody likes me," or "I can't do this." These thoughts are often automatic and deeply ingrained in your mind, so it's important to become aware of them. Keep a journal in which you write down all the negative thoughts that come to mind throughout the day, especially in social situations. This step will help you identify a pattern and become clear about which thoughts are bothering you the most. Step 2. Question negative thoughts. After you have identified your negative thoughts, it is time to question them. Ask yourself if these thoughts are really true. Is there concrete evidence to support your negative assumptions? Or are they exaggerated or unfounded assumptions? For example, if you have the thought, I'm going to embarrass myself, ask yourself, is it certain that I'm going to embarrass myself? And if so, is it really that bad? What's the worst that could happen? Often, you'll find that these negative thoughts are exaggerated and that the reality is less threatening than you think. Step 3. Formulate positive alternatives. The next step is to replace the negative thoughts with positive, more realistic alternatives. For example, if you find yourself thinking, nobody likes me, you could instead tell yourself, there are plenty of people who like me, and even if not everyone likes me, that's okay. I'm still valuable. Create positive affirmations that you can repeat to yourself to guide your thinking in a positive direction. These positive thoughts will help you develop stronger self-esteem and have more confidence in your abilities. Step 4. Daily practice of positive thoughts. Training positive thinking requires daily practice. Take a few minutes each day to consciously cultivate positive thoughts. Start the day with positive affirmations and remind yourself of them throughout the day when negative thoughts arise. One effective method is to write down 3 positive affirmations each morning and say them out loud. This could be something like I am capable and competent, I deserve to be happy, or I will successfully handle social situations today. Repeat these affirmations several times a day, especially before situations that make you anxious. Step 5. Visualization. Another technique to encourage positive thinking is visualization. Imagine yourself successfully handling a social situation. See yourself calm, confident, and positive. This mental preparation can actually help you feel more confident and comfortable when you face the real situation. By regularly practicing positive thinking and visualization, you can gradually increase your self-confidence and reduce social anxiety. It may take some time before you notice a noticeable change, but with patience and consistency, you will make progress. Exercise 2. Breathing techniques for calm nerves. Breathing techniques are a simple but extremely effective way to stay calm and calm your nerves in stressful situations. Consciously controlling your breath can help reduce feelings of anxiety, lower your heart rate, and ease general feelings of tension. These techniques are especially useful in social situations where you feel overwhelmed or anxious. Step 1. Abdominal breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing. Abdominal breathing, also called diaphragmatic breathing, is a deep, slow breathing technique that helps relax the body and calm the nervous system. Sit comfortably or lie flat on your back. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. Breathe in deeply through your nose so that your stomach bulges outward and your chest remains largely still. Exhale slowly through your mouth while gently pulling your stomach in. Repeat this breathing cycle for about 5-10 minutes. This exercise helps you gain control of your breathing and can be used in stressful moments to achieve instant calm. Step 2. 4, 7, 8 breathing technique. The 4, 7, 8 breathing technique is a calming breathing exercise that helps you relax your mind and reduce anxiety. This technique is easy to learn and can be used anytime you feel anxious or stressed. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Breathe in calmly through your nose and count to 4. Hold your breath and count to 7. Exhale completely through your mouth, counting to 8. Repeat this cycle 4 to 5 times. This breathing technique has a calming effect on the nervous system and helps reduce anxiety. It is an excellent way to prepare for stressful social situations or to calm yourself down in a moment of anxiety. Step 3. Alternate nostril breathing. Alternate nostril breathing, also called nadi shodhana, is a breathing technique from yoga that helps to promote balance in the body and mind. It is particularly helpful for finding calm and clarity in stressful situations. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Use the thumb of your right hand to close your right nostril and breathe in deeply through your left nostril. Close the left nostril with the ring finger of the same hand. Open the right nostril and exhale completely. Now breathe in through the right nostril. Close it and breathe out through the left nostril. This counts as one cycle. Repeat this cycle 5 to 10 times. This technique helps calm the mind and direct attention inward, which is especially useful for preparing for upcoming social challenges. Step 4. Progressive muscle relaxation with breathing focus. Progressive muscle relaxation combined with conscious breathing can help release tension in the body while calming the mind. Find a comfortable position and close your eyes. Begin to focus your attention on your breathing and breathe deeply and evenly. Tighten the muscle group, such as your feet, as you inhale and hold the tension for a few seconds. Release the tension as you exhale and relax the muscles completely. Go through different muscle groups of your body, from your feet to your head, and combine the tension and relaxation with your breathing. This exercise helps to release physical and mental tension and promotes a feeling of calm and well-being. Step 5. Regular practice. As with any technique, regular practice is the key to success. Try to use the breathing techniques daily or whenever you feel stressed. The more you practice, the easier it will be for you to stay calm in stressful situations and increase your confidence. Conclusion. Practicing positive thinking and using breathing techniques are powerful tools that can help you build your self-confidence and overcome social phobias. These exercises are easy to do and can be integrated into your daily routine to develop more calm, serenity and self-assurance in the long term. By consciously directing your thoughts in a positive direction and learning to control your breathing, you can approach social situations with more confidence and less fear. Exercise 3. Confrontation in safe steps. One of the most effective methods for overcoming social phobia is exposure therapy, also known as exposure therapy. This involves gradually facing the social situations you fear in order to reduce your fear. The key to success is to approach this confrontation in safe, controlled steps so that you can gradually reduce your fear without overwhelming yourself. In this exercise, you will learn how to step by step face social situations that scare you and build your confidence in the process. Step 1. Create a fear hierarchy. The first step in confronting in safe steps is to create a fear hierarchy. This hierarchy is a list of social situations that cause you varying levels of fear, ordered from the least frightening to the most frightening. The goal is to gradually work your way up from the easier to the more difficult situations. How to create your fear hierarchy. Brainstorming. Think of all the social situations that make you anxious. These could be situations in your everyday life, at work, at school, or in your social environment. Rating. Rate each situation on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being no fear and 10 being extreme fear. This rating will help you determine the order in which you will approach the situations. Create a hierarchy. Rank the situations from least fearful to most fearful. For example, your hierarchy might look like this. Wishing someone good morning on the street. Fear level 3. Starting a small talk with a colleague. Fear level 5. Speaking at a small group meeting. Fear level 6. Making a phone call to make an inquiry. Fear level 7. Attending a party with many unknown people. Fear level 8. Giving a presentation to a large group. Fear level 10. Step 2. Start with the easiest tasks. Once you've created your fear hierarchy, it's time to start with the tasks at the bottom of your list. It's important to start with situations that challenge you but don't overwhelm you. These easy tasks will help you experience success, which will build your confidence and motivate you to keep going. Here's how to do it. Choosing the first task. Choose the situation with the lowest level of anxiety. For example, you could start by saying good morning to someone on the street. Preparation. Before you approach the situation, take a moment to mentally prepare yourself. Use positive affirmations and breathing techniques to ease your nervousness. How to do it. Face the situation. It's normal to feel nervous, but remember that this is a controlled, safe step. Your goal is to accomplish the task, not be perfect. Reflection. After you have mastered the situation, reflect on your experience. What did you do well? Which fears were unfounded? What can you improve next time? Step 3. Gradually increasing the challenges. Once you feel comfortable in the easier situations, you can move on to the next task in your hierarchy. It is important to take your time and not rush. Every step should be seen as a success, no matter how small it may seem. Proceed step by step. Increased challenge. Choose the next task on your list that has a higher fear level and prepare for it. Repetition and reinforcement. Practice each situation several times until you feel confident. Through repetition, you will notice that the fear gradually decreases. Document your progress. Keep a written record of your progress to keep yourself aware of how far you have come. This will help you stay motivated and continue to build your confidence. Step 4. Dealing with setbacks. It's important to understand that setbacks are a normal part of the process. There will be days when you feel less brave or situations that are more difficult than you expected. This is completely fine and does not mean you are failing. Dealing with setbacks. Acceptance. Recognize that setbacks can happen. They are part of the learning process and provide an opportunity to learn from mistakes. Self-compassion. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remind yourself that you are making progress, even if sometimes it is smaller than you would like. Analysis. Think about what happened in the difficult situation. What threw you off balance? What could you do differently next time? Move on. Use what you've learned to be better prepared next time. Then return to your hierarchy. It can be helpful to temporarily return to an easier task to rebuild your confidence. Step 5. Long-term integration into everyday life. The ultimate success of confronting in safe steps depends on how well you integrate these exercises into your daily life. The more often you face social situations, the more you will find that your anxiety decreases and your confidence grows. Integration into everyday life. Regular practice. Make a daily or weekly commitment to take on a new challenge. This might mean seeking out social activities that challenge you or taking advantage of spontaneous opportunities to expand your comfort zone. Long-term goals. Set long-term goals, such as attending social events you've previously avoided or becoming active in a club or group. Build self-confidence. The more you practice, the more you will find that you are able to handle even the most difficult situations. These successes will help to strengthen your self-confidence in the long term. Conclusion. Confronting in safe steps is an effective way to overcome social phobia and build confidence in social situations. By creating a fear hierarchy and gradually facing the situations that scare you, you can regain control of your fears. It's a process that requires patience, practice, and self-compassion, but the rewards are enormous. Over time, you'll find that social interactions become less threatening and more fulfilling, and you'll be able to lead a more confident, active life. Chapter 5. Small talk made easy. Small talk can be particularly challenging for people with social anxiety. Often there is a worry about not knowing what to say or a fear that the conversation will be awkward or embarrassing. But small talk is a valuable social skill that can help you build relationships and feel more comfortable in social situations. In this chapter, you'll learn the art of conversation starters and how to find topics that everyone likes to keep conversations going. The art of starting a conversation. Starting a conversation is often the hardest part of small talk. Many people fear making the first move because they are afraid of being rejected or not having anything interesting to say. But with a little practice and some simple strategies, you can learn to start conversations naturally and confidently. 1. The first impression counts. First impressions are crucial when it comes to starting a conversation. A friendly smile, open eye contact and a relaxed posture will signal to the other person that you are interested and approachable. Your body language can often say more about you than the words you choose, so make sure it is friendly and inviting. 2. Simple and universal conversation openers. A simple and effective way to start a conversation is to use universal conversation openers. These phrases are easy to use and are suitable for almost any situation. Here are some examples. Hello. How are you today? A simple greeting paired with a question signals interest in the person you are talking to. Nice weather today. Isn't it? The weather is a classic small talk topic that always works. The buffet looks delicious. Have you tried anything yet? If you are at an event, you can refer to something that concerns everyone present. 3. Context-related conversation openers. Another effective way to start a conversation is to use the context or environment you are in. This type of conversation opener relates directly to the current situation, making it easier to get the conversation going. I saw that you were at the presentation. What did you think? When you speak to someone after an event, you can directly address the experience. I love this cafe. Do you come here often? If you are in a public place, you can use this as an introduction to the conversation. I just saw your book cover. It looks interesting. What are you reading? Comments on things you notice about the person can naturally start the conversation. 4. Ask questions and show interest. One of the best ways to get a conversation going and keep it going is to ask questions. People like to talk about themselves and their interests. And asking questions shows you're interested in the person you're talking to. Make sure to ask open-ended questions that require more than just a yes or no answer. What brought you to this event today? How did you get into this field? What do you like to do in your free time? Questions not only open the conversation, but also give you the opportunity to discover common ground and continue the conversation naturally. 5. The power of compliments. Compliments are a great way to break the ice and start a conversation. Make sure your compliments are honest and sincere. Your presentation was really interesting. How long did it take you? That's a great sweater. Where did you buy it? I heard you talking about. Topic. That sounded fascinating. A well-placed compliment can create a positive mood and make the other person feel valued and respected. 6. Listen and respond to the other person. After you have successfully started the conversation, it is important to listen carefully and respond to what the other person is saying. Show that you are really interested by asking questions or picking up on what has been said. That sounds really exciting. How did you come up with that? I can imagine that was a challenge. How did you overcome it? This reminds me of a similar experience I had. By listening carefully and responding appropriately, you show the other person that you are really interested and create a pleasant atmosphere for conversation. Find topics that everyone likes. Once you've successfully started the conversation, the question often arises as to how to keep the conversation going. Finding topics that are interesting and comfortable for both parties is the key to successful small talk. Here are some tips on how to identify and use such topics. 1. Explore common interests. Good small talk is based on shared interests. When you talk to someone, try to find out what interests you both. This could be hobbies, current events, or shared experiences. What do you like to do in your free time? Have you seen this movie recently? What do you think of it? I heard you like to travel. What was your favorite travel destination? By exploring common interests, you create a foundation for a deeper conversation that both parties can enjoy. 2. Current events and pop culture. Current events and pop culture provide a wealth of conversation material that almost anyone can relate to. Make sure the topics are light and easygoing to avoid conflict or awkward situations. Have you heard about the new movie? I'm thinking about seeing it. What do you think about the news about? Current event. I just discovered a new series on Netflix. Do you have any recommendations? These topics are often universal and are good for stimulating a conversation as they tend to arouse widespread interest. 3. The power of stories. Telling stories is an effective way to make the conversation more interesting and lively. People like to remember stories and tend to get involved in them. This reminds me of the time when I recently experienced something similar. Funny story about that. By sharing small anecdotes or experiences, you make the conversation more personal and make it easier for the other person to open up as well. 4. Curiosity and open questions. Curiosity is a valuable tool in small talk. By asking open questions, you can steer the conversation in new directions and learn more about the person you are talking to. What made you want to work in this field? If you had the opportunity to do anything, what would it be? What is the most exciting thing you have experienced recently? Open questions invite more detailed answers and allow the conversation to become deeper. 5. Avoid sensitive topics. While it's important to find interesting topics, it's equally important to avoid sensitive or controversial topics, especially if you don't know the other person well. Politics, religion, or personal issues can quickly lead to disagreements and take the conversation in an uncomfortable direction. Instead, stick to neutral topics that are less emotionally charged. If the conversation does turn to a sensitive topic, try to remain polite and diplomatic, or gently steer the conversation to another topic. 6. Bring humor and lightness. Humor is a great way to lighten the conversation and create a relaxed atmosphere. A well-placed joke or humorous remark can help break down barriers and make the conversation more pleasant. I failed miserably when I tried to cook for myself last week. Do you know that feeling? This reminds me of that hilarious story when. Make sure the humor is friendly and appropriate to the situation to encourage positive reactions. Conclusion. Small talk doesn't have to be a daunting challenge. With the right conversation starting techniques and a repertoire of interesting, light-hearted topics, you can learn to feel more comfortable in conversation and enjoy positive social interactions. Remember, small talk isn't about having deep discussions. It's about building a connection and keeping the conversation going. With practice, you'll find that small talk can be an enriching and even enjoyable experience that helps you become more confident in social situations. The right body language. Body language is an essential part of all communication and can often say more than words. Body language plays a crucial role, especially in small talk, as it shapes the first impression and determines whether the person you are talking to feels comfortable around you and is open to you. Positive, open body language can help you appear more confident and lead the conversation in a pleasant manner. In this section, you will learn how to use your body language in a targeted manner to successfully master small talk situations. 1. Upright posture. An upright posture signals confidence and openness. When you stand or sit with a straight spine, you automatically appear more present and interested. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and slightly pulled back, and avoid hunching or hunching your shoulders, as this can signal insecurity or discomfort. Not only does an upright posture help you make a positive impression, it can also boost your own self-confidence. Studies have shown that an upright posture can lift your mood and boost your self-confidence. 2. Open posture. An open posture means that you do not create barriers between you and the person you are talking to. This means that you do not cross your arms and that you keep your hands and feet relaxed. Crossing your arms and legs can be interpreted as a defensive posture and give the impression that you are aloof or uninterested. Instead, you can adopt an open posture by keeping your arms loosely at your sides or resting them gently on the edge of a table if you're sitting. Your feet should be flat on the floor and your body should be slightly turned toward your conversation partner, signaling interest and engagement. 3. Eye contact. Eye contact is an important aspect of nonverbal communication. It signals attention, interest and trust. When you look your conversation partner in the eyes, you show them that you are listening and participating in the conversation. However, it is important to keep eye contact natural and not to stare, as this can seem uncomfortable. A good guideline is to maintain eye contact about 60–70% of the time, looking away every now and then to keep the conversation relaxed and informal. If you feel unsure, practice eye contact with friends or in less stressful situations to get used to it. 4. Smile. A smile is one of the most effective ways to create a positive and friendly atmosphere. It signals openness, friendliness and approachability and can quickly break the ice in a conversation situation. A genuine smile that includes the eyes is often perceived as warm and inviting and encourages the other person to be open as well. Make sure your smile looks natural and authentic. Don't force yourself to smile if you feel uncomfortable, but try to approach the conversation in a positive way. Often, just having a positive attitude can help you feel more relaxed and smile more easily. 5. Use gestures consciously. Gestures can make a conversation more lively and understandable. They support your words and help to emphasize or explain what you are saying. However, It is important to use gestures consciously and moderately so as not to appear overly gesticulous or hectic. Make sure your gestures are calm and flowing. Small, open hand movements can emphasize your words and invite the other person to follow the conversation. Avoid using too many or too large gestures, as this can seem restless or intrusive. 6. Mirrors. Mirroring your conversation partner's body language is a subtle technique that can promote a positive connection. People often feel more comfortable and connected when the other person uses similar postures and gestures. This often happens unconsciously and signals that you are on the same wavelength as the person you are talking to. Make sure to use mirroring in a subtle and natural way. For example, if the person you're talking to puts their arms on the table, you can put yours on the table too. It's important not to overdo the mirroring or imitate it directly, as this can seem unnatural. If done well, mirroring can strengthen the connection and make the conversation more pleasant. 7. Space and distance. The distance you keep from your conversation partner plays an important role in the comfort and flow of the conversation. Too much closeness can seem uncomfortable, while too much distance can be interpreted as disinterest. Pay attention to the nonverbal signals of your counterpart to maintain the right distance. Typically, a distance of about 1 to 1.5 meters is considered comfortable for small talk. This is close enough to have a conversation without invading each other's personal space. In closer relationships or in very noisy environments, this distance can be reduced, while in formal situations, more distance may be appropriate. 8. Calming and confident movements. Your movements should be calm and controlled to convey a sense of confidence and relaxation. Avoid nervous movements such as tugging at clothes, fiddling with objects, or constantly changing your position. These behaviors can signal insecurity and make the person you're talking to feel nervous or uncomfortable. Instead, try to appear calm and confident. If you feel unsure, focus on your breathing and posture. A conscious breath can help release tension and calm your movements. Chapter 6. Dealing with setbacks. The road to overcoming social anxiety is often long and challenging. As you progress, you may experience setbacks and relapses that test your motivation. However, these setbacks are a normal part of the healing process and provide valuable learning opportunities. In this chapter, you will learn how to accept relapses, learn from them, and stick to your long-term goals to beat social anxiety. Accepting relapses and learning from them. It's important to remember that relapses are not a sign of failure. They are a natural part of the process of change and can help you refine your strategies and continue working toward your goals. Relapses are moments when old behavior patterns resurface or you feel your anxiety getting stronger. The key is to see these setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. 1. Acceptance as the first step. The first step in dealing with setbacks is acceptance. It's normal for setbacks to happen, and it's important not to view them as personal failures. Even people who have made great progress sometimes experience moments of uncertainty or fear. Accept that setbacks are part of the process, and don't be too hard on yourself when they occur. 2. Develop self-compassion. Self-compassion is crucial when dealing with setbacks. Treat yourself with the same kindness and care you would show a friend who is struggling. Instead of criticizing yourself, remind yourself that you are brave for even taking on the challenge of overcoming your social anxiety. Self-compassion will help you recover from setbacks more quickly and avoid becoming discouraged. 3. Analyze the causes of relapse. After you accept a relapse, it is helpful to analyze the causes of it. Ask yourself what led to the relapse. Was there a particular situation that caused you particular stress? Did you perhaps feel overwhelmed or not prepared enough? By identifying the triggers, you can better understand why the relapse happened and take steps to better manage similar situations in the future. 4. Learn from mistakes. Setbacks offer the opportunity to learn valuable lessons. Think about what you can take away from the situation. Perhaps you have realized that you need more support in certain situations or that you need to adjust your strategies. Use these insights to improve your approach and emerge stronger from the relapse. 5. Develop strategies for dealing with future relapses. To be better prepared for setbacks in the future, you can develop preventative strategies. Think about how you want to react in stressful situations and what techniques could help you better manage the anxiety. This could be using breathing techniques, seeking support from friends, or consciously using positive affirmations. The better prepared you are, the easier it will be for you to deal with future relapses. Stick with it. Overcoming fear in the long term. Long-term success in overcoming social phobia requires persistence, patience, and the willingness to keep going even after setbacks. By sticking to your goals over the long term, you can conquer the fear bit by bit and live a more confident life. 1. Keep long-term goals in mind. It's important to keep your long-term goals in mind. Why do you want to overcome your social anxiety? What benefits will you see in your life when you no longer allow fear to limit you? By constantly reminding yourself of these goals, you can maintain your motivation even when things get difficult. Write down your long-term goals and put them somewhere you can see them regularly. This could be on a sticky note on your desk, as the wallpaper on your phone, or in a journal. When you experience setbacks, remind yourself why you are on this path and what you want to achieve. 2. Celebrate small successes. Long-term change takes time, and it's easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow. That's why it's important to celebrate small wins. Every step you take brings you closer to your goal, and that progress deserves recognition. Celebrate small successes by giving yourself small rewards or simply acknowledging what you have achieved. This could be a relaxing evening, a walk in nature, or a meeting with friends. By celebrating your progress, you build positive reinforcement and motivate yourself to keep going. 3. Seek and use support. No one has to go through the journey of overcoming social anxiety alone. It's okay to seek support, whether it's from friends, family, a therapist, or a support group. This support can help you stay motivated and provide comfort during difficult times. If you feel stuck or are experiencing a particularly bad relapse, don't hesitate to reach out to someone who can help you. Sometimes just talking to someone who understands your situation can make a big difference and give you the courage to keep going. 4. Develop patience and perseverance. The process of overcoming social anxiety is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience and perseverance, especially because the changes are often gradual. It's important to remind yourself that every step forward, no matter how small, is valuable and that you're on the right track. Allow yourself to go through the process at your own pace. There is no set time frame for overcoming social phobia, and everyone makes progress in their own way. By remaining patient and continuing to work toward your goals, you will gradually regain control of your fear. 5. See setbacks as part of the success process. Instead of viewing setbacks as defeats, you can see them as an integral part of the success process. Every setback offers a new opportunity to learn, grow and come back stronger. Many people who have overcome their fears report that it is the setbacks that have taught them the most and taken them the furthest in the long run. By adopting this perspective, you can approach setbacks with a positive attitude and see them as valuable learning steps on your path to overcoming fear. Conclusion: dealing with setbacks is a crucial part of the process of overcoming social anxiety. Accepting setbacks, learning from them, and sticking to your goals for the long term are important steps to conquering fear for good. It takes patience, self-compassion, and perseverance, but with the right attitude and support, you can achieve success in the long run. Remember that setbacks don't mean the end of your progress. They are just a pause in your journey. A pause that gives you the opportunity to reflect, learn, and come back stronger. Get support when you need help from outside. Overcoming social phobia can be a long and challenging process that often requires a lot of self-reflection and inner work. Although there are many techniques you can use on your own, it is important to recognize when it is helpful and necessary to seek outside support. Sometimes professional help, talking to other sufferers, or support from friends and family can make all the difference. In this section, you will learn when and how to seek outside help. 1. When fear severely limits your life. A key indicator that you need outside support is if social phobia is significantly limiting your life. If you find that your fears are causing you to completely avoid social situations, miss out on professional or personal opportunities, or become increasingly isolated, it's time to seek help. Social phobia can affect life in many ways, and if you feel like your quality of life is suffering, you shouldn't ignore it. Professional help can help you better understand the causes of your fears and develop targeted strategies to overcome them. A therapist can help you break the avoidance patterns and reduce your fear step by step so that you can lead a more active and fulfilling life again. 2. If you are not making progress despite your own efforts, it's completely normal for the process of overcoming social phobia to take time and involve setbacks. However, if you don't see any progress despite trying hard over a long period of time, or feel like you're treading water, this could be a sign that you need extra support. A therapist or coach can help you gain new perspectives and give you tools you may not have tried before. Sometimes small adjustments in your approach or new techniques can make a big difference. Professional support can help you make these changes and accelerate your progress. 3. When fear leads to physical symptoms. Social phobia can manifest itself not only psychologically but also physically. If you notice that you suffer from intense physical symptoms in social situations, such as severe heart palpitations, shaking, sweating, dizziness or nausea, this may be a sign that your anxiety has reached a level that requires professional support. These symptoms can be very distressing and significantly affect your ability to cope with social situations. A therapist can help you learn techniques specifically aimed at controlling and reducing these physical reactions. These may include breathing techniques, mindfulness exercises, or progressive muscle relaxation. These approaches can help you stay calmer in stressful situations and reduce the physical symptoms of anxiety. 4. When you feel isolated and alone. Dealing with social phobia can be very lonely, especially if you feel like no one around you really understands your fears. If you feel isolated or alone, It can be very helpful to seek out other sufferers. Support groups, forums or online communities offer a platform to exchange ideas with people who have had similar experiences. Sharing ideas with others can make you feel understood and supported. It can often be relieving to hear that other people are going through similar challenges, and it can be inspiring to hear about their successes. In such groups you can also get valuable tips and advice that can help you. 5. If anxiety leads to depression or other mental health problems. Social phobia can sometimes lead to other mental health problems such as depression. If you find yourself feeling increasingly depressed, hopeless or worthless, this could be a sign that you need professional help. Depression and social phobia can reinforce each other, and it is important to intervene early to prevent them from getting worse. A therapist can help you deal with both social phobia and the accompanying depressive symptoms. Together, you can develop a plan to help you break free from the spiral of negative thoughts and feelings and make positive changes in your life. 6. When you feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel overwhelmed when dealing with social anxiety. This process can be emotionally exhausting, especially if you're dealing with other stressors in your life at the same time. If you feel like you can't get through it alone or that the burden is becoming too much, it's a good idea to seek support. Talking to a therapist or counselor can help you sort out your feelings and find a clear path forward. Even short-term support, such as coaching or counseling, can help you regain your stability and tackle your challenges with more clarity and calm. 7. If you are ready to take new paths. Sometimes it's just time to explore new avenues and seek support because you're ready to take another step forward. If you feel like you're ready to make deeper changes in your life and are open to accepting professional help, this can be a great moment to take the next step. Professional support can help you learn new techniques, break old patterns, and move your life in a positive direction. It's a sign of strength and self-care to accept help when you're ready to make changes. Chapter 7. Success Stories Courageous People Report. The journey to overcoming social phobia can often be lonely and challenging, but it is important to know that many people have successfully walked this path. Their stories not only offer inspiration and hope, but also show that it is possible to conquer fear and live a fulfilling life. In this chapter, we share the success stories of brave people who have overcome their social phobia, offering you motivation and encouragement for your own journey. How others have overcome their social phobia. 1. Maria's Way. Small steps, big changes. Maria was a quiet and reserved person who often felt that her social phobia prevented her from enjoying life to the full. She avoided attending social events and often felt lonely and isolated. One day she decided it was time to make a change. She started with very small steps. For example, resolving to greet a colleague every day or having short conversations in the supermarket. Maria used the gradual exposure technique to gradually reduce her anxiety. She kept a journal to track her progress and rewarded herself for each small success. Over time, she noticed that she felt more and more confident in social situations. Today, Maria regularly participates in social activities and has made close friendships that she previously thought were impossible. Her story shows that even the smallest steps can lead to big changes if you stick with it and don't get discouraged. 2. Peter's breakthrough. Support through therapy. Peter suffered from severe social phobia since his youth. He constantly felt negatively judged by others and avoided speaking in public or meeting new people. After years of suffering, he decided to seek professional help. He began cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helped him to recognize and change his negative thought patterns. Through therapy, Peter learned that his anxious thoughts were often exaggerated and unfounded. With the support of his therapist, he developed strategies to face his fears step by step. He also joined a self-help group where he could talk to other sufferers. This community gave him the feeling that he was not alone and motivated him to continue working on himself. Today, Peter is able to speak in front of groups, make new contacts and largely control his social anxiety. His story shows how important it can be to get outside support and professional help. 3. Lisa's transformation. The power of mindfulness. Lisa has always had difficulty with social interactions. She felt uncomfortable in groups and avoided being the center of attention. Her social phobia caused her to feel limited in her life and to miss out on many opportunities. Through a friend, she became aware of mindfulness and meditation and began to incorporate these practices into her daily life. Through mindfulness, Lisa learned to observe her thoughts and feelings without judgment. She realized that her anxiety was often exacerbated by thought patterns that she was not consciously aware of. With regular meditation and mindfulness exercises, she was able to strengthen her inner calm and improve her reactions to stressful social situations. Lisa's transformation didn't happen overnight, but with patience and perseverance she managed to overcome her social phobia. She joined a mindfulness course and discovered a new passion for yoga, which helped her align her mind and body. Today, Lisa lives an active social life and uses her mindfulness practice to stay calm even in challenging situations. Her story shows how powerful mindfulness can be when it comes to dealing with social anxiety and living a more confident life. 4. Max's challenge. Defeating the inner critic. Max was a perfectionist who always felt like he wasn't good enough in social situations. His inner critic was constantly active and caused him to often withdraw and question his abilities. After many years of his social phobia preventing him from reaching his potential, Max decided it was time to silence that inner critic. He began to study cognitive behavioral therapy, read books on self-acceptance and positive psychology, and attended workshops that helped him challenge his negative beliefs. Max set small, realistic goals to gradually overcome his fear and worked on accepting himself as he is. Over time, Max was able to control his inner critic better and learned to treat himself more kindly and compassionately. Today, he is able to approach social situations with more composure and no longer allows himself to be dominated by fear. His story shows that it is possible to defeat the inner critic and regain control of your own life. Motivation for your own path. These success stories show that there are many ways to overcome social phobia. Everyone has found their own way to deal with the fear, and these ways can serve as inspiration for you too. It is important to realize that the path to overcoming social phobia is individual and that there is no right pace or perfect method. The most important thing is that you decide to actively work on your fear and move forward step by step. 1. Recognize your own progress. Your journey will have ups and downs, but every little bit of progress is a step in the right direction. Recognize your successes, no matter how small they may seem, and use them as motivation to keep going. Every success, every hurdle overcome, brings you closer to your goal of living a life free of social anxiety. 2. Be patient with yourself. Change takes time, and it's important to be patient with yourself. Setbacks are normal and part of the process. Be kind to yourself and remind yourself that you are brave because you decided to overcome your fear. 3. Use support and resources. Don't be afraid to seek support if you need it. Whether it's through professional help, talking to other people affected, or through books and courses, there are many resources that can help you on your journey. You don't have to go down this path alone. 4. Set realistic goals. Set small, achievable goals and work toward them step by step. These goals can help you stay on track and focus on the next step rather than being overwhelmed by the overall task. 5. Stay positive and focused. Stick to your goals and stay positive. You have already taken the first step by deciding to make a change. With this determination, you can overcome your social phobia and live a fulfilling, confident life. Conclusion. The stories of brave people who have overcome their social phobia show that it is possible to conquer fear and live life to the fullest. Their path was not always easy, but through perseverance, determination and the willingness to seek help, they made it. These stories are meant to encourage you and show you that you too can overcome your social phobia. Every step you take brings you closer to your goal, and with the right attitude and support, you too can write a success story. Chapter 8. Your personal roadmap to overcoming. The path to overcoming social anxiety is individual and requires a tailored strategy that fits your specific needs and challenges. This chapter is about how you can develop your own personal roadmap to overcome social anxiety. This plan will help you take concrete steps, stay motivated, and make continuous progress. Develop your individual strategy. The first step to overcoming social phobia is to develop a clear, individualized strategy. This strategy should be tailored to your personal experiences, goals, and resources. Here are some important aspects to consider when developing your roadmap. 1. Self-analysis. Understanding your personal triggers and fears. Before you can develop a strategy, it is important to develop a deep understanding of your specific fears and triggers. What exactly scares you in social situations? Which situations do you particularly avoid? Through thorough self-analysis, you can find out which aspects of social phobia are most problematic for you and where you should start. A diary can be helpful here. Regularly write down the situations in which your fear occurs, the thoughts and feelings associated with it and how you react to them. This self-observation helps you to recognize patterns and to work specifically on the areas that are most important to you. 2. Set realistic, specific goals. Once you've identified your fears, it's important to set clear and realistic goals. These goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-bound. SMART goals. Instead of setting a general goal like I want to overcome my social phobia, you could set a concrete goal like I want to be able to actively participate in group meetings at work in the next 3 months. Your goal should be broken down into small, achievable steps that move you forward step by step. This will help you stay on track and provide you with regular successes that motivate you to keep going. 3. Develop an exposure hierarchy. An exposure hierarchy is a list of social situations that make you anxious, ordered from least frightening to most frightening. This list is an essential part of your strategy because it helps you gradually face your fears without overwhelming yourself. Start with the tasks at the bottom of the hierarchy and slowly work your way up. For example, You could start with small steps like wishing someone good day at the supermarket and gradually work your way up to bigger challenges like giving a presentation to a group. Each success on this list will build your confidence and show you that you are capable of overcoming your fears. 4. Develop coping strategies. In addition to exposure, it is important to develop coping strategies that help you deal with anxiety in the moments when it arises. These strategies can include breathing techniques, mindfulness exercises, positive self-talk, or visualizing success scenarios. They serve to reduce your tension and give you back control over your reactions. Breathing techniques such as the 4-7-8 method or progressive muscle relaxation can help you calm down in stressful situations. Mindfulness techniques can teach you to stay in the moment instead of slipping into anxious thought spirals. By practicing these strategies regularly, you will be better able to stay calm in difficult situations. 5. Plan regular reflections and adjustments. It is important to reflect on your progress regularly and adjust your strategy if necessary. What worked well? What challenges arose? What goals did you achieve and where do you perhaps need to start again? This reflection will help you to constantly optimize your strategy and ensure that you are on the right track. Keep a success journal to track your progress and use it to celebrate your successes and analyze setbacks. Regular reflection gives you the opportunity to learn from your experiences and further refine your strategy. 6. Seek support. Support can be a key factor in sticking to your plan long term. Whether it's friends, family, support groups, or a therapist, having people who support and encourage you can help you stay motivated. Don't hesitate to seek help when you need it, and use the support to overcome challenges and continue to make progress. For example, a therapist can help you create your exposure hierarchy and guide you through the process of exposure. Support groups provide an opportunity to share experiences and learn from others' successes. 7. Stay flexible and patient. The road to overcoming social phobia is not always straightforward. There will be setbacks, and sometimes you will need to adjust your strategy. Stay flexible and open to change, and be patient with yourself. Progress often happens gradually, and it is important to respect the process and not put too much pressure on yourself. Remind yourself that every step you take is progress, no matter how small it may seem. Give yourself the time you need and be proud of the progress you make. Conclusion. Your personal roadmap to overcoming social phobia is a valuable tool that helps you work on your fears in a targeted and structured way. By developing an individual strategy, setting realistic goals, facing your fears step by step and reflecting regularly, you can gradually overcome your social phobia. It requires patience, flexibility and the willingness to seek support. But with a clear plan and the right attitude, you can overcome your fear and lead a more fulfilling, confident life. Document and celebrate progress. Documenting and celebrating your progress is an essential part of the process of overcoming social anxiety. Not only does it help you track your progress, but it also helps you stay motivated and build a positive self-image. By consciously recording and celebrating your successes, you can build self-confidence and keep moving forward on your path. 1. The importance of progress documentation. Documenting your progress allows you to track your journey to overcoming social anxiety in small, trackable steps. It gives you the opportunity to recognize positive changes, even if they seem small at first. Often we tend to overlook small successes or focus on what isn't perfect yet. By systematically documenting, you can ensure that you appreciate all the progress and be aware of how far you have already come. How to document your progress. Keep a journal. A personal journal is an excellent way to record your thoughts, feelings, and successes. Make a daily or weekly note of the steps you took, how you felt about them, and the successes you achieved. A journal also helps you identify patterns and reflect on what worked well and what can be improved. Create a list of achievements. Create a list of achievements that you can look back on regularly. This list could include both big achievements like giving a presentation and smaller achievements like making small talk at the grocery store. Each entry on this list reminds you that you are making progress, even if it seems small at times. Graphic representation. Some people find it motivating to visualize their progress. You could create a graph showing your progress toward certain goals, or create a success wall where you place post-it notes with your successes. These visual representations make your progress tangible and visible. 2. Celebrate your successes. Celebrating your successes is just as important as documenting them. By consciously acknowledging your progress, you reinforce positive behaviors and motivate yourself to keep going. Celebrating doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be as simple as a quick self-reward or a moment of reflection on what you've accomplished. Ways to celebrate your successes. Self-reward. Treat yourself to something that makes you happy when you achieve a goal. This could be a relaxing evening, a trip to the movies, a special meal, or a small gift to yourself. These rewards provide positive incentives and make overcoming challenges worthwhile. Share with others. Share your successes with friends, family, or a support group. Positive feedback and support from others can further boost your confidence. It is motivating to receive recognition from people who are important to you. Develop rituals. Develop small rituals to celebrate your successes. This could be a special journal where you only record your biggest achievements, or a specific place where you go to reflect on your progress. These rituals give your successes special meaning. 3. The long-term effect of celebration. Regularly celebrating your progress has a long-term positive effect on your self-confidence and motivation. It helps you build a positive relationship with yourself and your journey to overcoming social phobia. By giving yourself recognition, you build an inner strength that helps you keep going in difficult moments. In the long term, celebrating your successes will make you proud of yourself and your development. This positive self-perception is crucial to building self-confidence and overcoming social phobia permanently. Mastering everyday life without fear. The ultimate goal on your journey to overcoming social phobia is to be able to go about your day without fear. This means being able to enjoy social situations and act confidently without fear controlling your life. Going about your day without fear takes practice, but with the right strategies, you can live a fulfilling and fear-free life. 1. Integration of the learned techniques into everyday life. The key to living an anxiety-free life is to incorporate the techniques and strategies you have learned into your daily routine. This means continually working on your social skills and regularly using the coping strategies you have learned. Everyday techniques for dealing with anxiety. Regular exposure. Continue to expose yourself to social situations regularly, even when you feel more confident. This exposure will help reinforce what you've learned and further reduce your anxiety. Find opportunities to make small talk, attend events, or meet new people. Mindfulness and relaxation. Use mindfulness and relaxation techniques such as meditation or breathing exercises to reduce stress and stay calm in social situations. These practices will help you stay in the moment and not drift into anxious thoughts. Positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts with positive self-talk. Remind yourself of how much you have already achieved and encourage yourself to continue to be brave. Positive affirmations such as "I am capable of handling this situation" or "I deserve to be happy" can help you boost your self-confidence. 2. Actively shape social relationships. An important aspect of everyday life free from anxiety is actively creating and maintaining social relationships. Social contacts are crucial for our well-being, and it is important to shape them consciously and positively. Strategies for maintaining social relationships. Shared activities. Find activities that you enjoy and that allow you to socialize at the same time. This could be a shared hobby, a sports class, or regular meetings with friends. These activities will help you experience social contacts in a positive way. Authenticity. Be authentic and honest in your social relationships. The more you show yourself as you really are, the more comfortable you will feel in social situations. Authentic relationships are more stable and fulfilling because they are based on genuine mutual understanding. Network and make new contacts. Expand your social network by meeting new people, whether through professional networks, social groups, or online communities. The more positive social experiences you have, the more confident you will feel. 3. Long-term self-care. To live a long-term life free of anxiety, it is important to take care of your emotional and physical well-being on a regular basis. Self-care is not a one-time task, but an ongoing process that ensures you are able to overcome challenges and live a fulfilling life. Aspects of self-care. Physical health. Make sure you eat a healthy diet. Get enough exercise and enough sleep. Your physical well-being has a direct impact on your emotional stability and self-confidence. Mental health. Take care of your mental health by taking regular breaks, using relaxation techniques and maintaining positive thought patterns. Avoid overexertion and take time for yourself to recharge your batteries. Emotional balance. Make sure to accept your emotions and deal with them constructively. Seek support when needed, whether through talking to friends, therapy, or other resources to help you stay balanced. 4. Flexibility and adaptability. A life free of fear also requires the ability to be flexible and adaptable. Life will always bring new challenges and changes, and it is important to face these with an open and flexible attitude. Strategies for flexibility. Openness to new things. Be willing to have new experiences and step out of your comfort zone. New experiences offer the opportunity to grow and learn. Adapting to change. Learn to accept change as a natural part of life. Instead of resisting change, try to see it as an opportunity to develop new skills and build resilience. Problem-oriented thinking. Develop the ability to approach problems in a solution-oriented way. When you encounter obstacles, think about how you can overcome them instead of being discouraged by them. Closing word. Your path to becoming a small talk champion. The journey you have taken to overcome your social phobia and become a confident small talk champion is not an easy one. It requires courage, determination, and the willingness to constantly face new challenges. But as you have learned in the last chapters, it is worth taking this path. Every small step you take brings you closer to a life that is not characterized by fear, but by freedom and self-confidence. It's worth sticking with it. There may be times when you feel that progress is too slow or that the challenges seem too great. There may be moments of doubt or setbacks that could discourage you. But during these times, remind yourself how far you have come and how many obstacles you have already overcome. Perseverance is the key to success. Every step forward, no matter how small, counts. By continually working on yourself, you not only strengthen your self-confidence, but also your ability to act confidently in social situations. The process of change is not always linear, but with patience and perseverance, you will see that your efforts bear fruit. The progress you make is more than just steps toward overcoming fear. It's the building of a new, stronger version of yourself. Not only will you learn to make small talk and feel more comfortable in social situations, but you'll find that these skills spill over into other areas of your life. Perseverance will not only lead you toward a specific goal, but to a new attitude toward life that is characterized by freedom and confidence. Enjoying the new freedom. With every step you take, you move closer to a life free from the limitations of social phobia. This new freedom is not only the result of your efforts, but also the reward for your courage in facing your fears. The freedom to move confidently in social situations opens up new possibilities and expands your world. Imagine what it would be like to be able to make new contacts with ease, attend social events without feeling awkward, and enjoy conversations rather than dreading them. This vision is not just a dream, it is a reality that you create step by step. The new freedom you gain allows you to live life to the fullest and take advantage of opportunities that might have previously been denied to you. This freedom is also an invitation to rediscover life. You will discover that social interactions are not just chores, but can also provide joy, connection and personal growth. The world of interpersonal relationships will be richer and more fulfilling for you if you approach it with openness and confidence. Rights and ownership notice. This audiobook is published and distributed by Testbericht-Institut LLC. All copyrights, publishing rights, distribution rights, audio rights, and related intellectual property rights for this work have been lawfully and exclusively acquired by Testbericht-Institut LLC. Testbericht-Institut LLC is the sole and unrestricted rights holder of this audiobook, including the right to reproduce, distribute, publish, monetize, and publicly perform the content on digital platforms such as YouTube. The original manuscript files, source documents, and contractual acquisition records serve as proof of lawful ownership. The original author and/or their authorized representative, Renovatio LLC, has transferred all relevant rights to Testbericht-Institut LLC in accordance with applicable copyright and publishing law. This ownership applies to all current and future uses of this work, including audio, video, and digital publications. Effective date of rights ownership: the 1st of February 2026. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, re-upload, redistribution, or claiming of this content is strictly prohibited. Copyright Testbericht-Institut LLC. All rights reserved.